Silly season has officially begun with Lewis Hamilton joining Ferrari for 2025. But what does that mean for the guy currently in that Ferrari seat? Carlos Sainz, where is he going to go? Or will he be out of the sport completely? A big bombshell was dropped before the season had even begun as Lewis Hamilton was joining Ferrari. That means that Carlos Sainz no longer drives for Ferrari after the end of this season. So where is he going to go? There are a lot of teams on the grid, but there are potential seats that are completely locked in. So McLaren, there's a no-go option of going back to there as Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris currently are locked in. But we know what happened with Lewis Hamilton. He was supposedly locked in for 2025 and that's all changed. So you never know. We could have an option there. Let's go through the rest of the grid though for Carlos Sainz. Red Bull, maybe, who knows? He could reunite with his first ever teammate. Him and Max Verstappen joined Formula 1 together in Toro Rosso in 2015 and they were quite competitive with each other, but they also got along really well. Carlos Sainz stayed in Toro Rosso a lot longer than Max Verstappen did, was never able to progress to the Red Bull team as Daniel Ricciardo was holding that seat, and when he left, Carlos Sainz was already out of the team. But he returned to the Red Bull outfit could be a possibility. It is no secret that Sergio Perez has been underperforming when you compare him to his world champion teammate of Max Verstappen. So could there be an opening at the end of 2024? Will Red Bull want to look for a more solid driver with the challenge of Ferrari? Ferrari now have two top drivers in Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton. If they make a competitive car, is Max Verstappen going to be enough to secure them the world championships? That's something that they are going to have to think about now. But you also have in their junior team drivers waiting. Do they want to bring Daniel Ricciardo back into the team? They know how he works at Red Bull, but are they able to get the best out of him like he was previously? You've also got Yuki Tsunoda, who has been impressing. He was the main reason that Nick de Vries got booted out of Formula 1 because he was outperforming him every single week and has been very good against both Daniel Ricciardo and Liam Lawson when they were in the AlphaTauri seat last season as well. So two potential options with Daniel Ricciardo and Yuki Tsunoda there, but why not Carlos Sainz? They already know him from his junior days and Toro Rosso, and there is an opening there. We know that Carlos Sainz is a very strong driver. He's a very consistent driver as well. He was very similar to Charles Leclerc in last year's season standings. He's still a very young driver in Formula 1 terms, so why not give him that chance? Where else then? Well, we've got Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton moving away from Mercedes. There is an open seat there, and I feel like at the moment, because there is no secret that seat is available, you've got every driver on the grid that aren't in the top teams already going to be fighting it out to prove themselves in 2024 and try and get that Mercedes seat. So there is an option there alongside George Russell, but it depends on what Mercedes want to do. Do they want to make George Russell that number one role, or are they looking for another number one or an equal status alongside George Russell? It's an interesting option for sure, and again, as I said, for Red Bull, Carlos Sainz brings that consistency. He's a really strong driver and also I think one of the smartest drivers in Formula 1 as well. However, there's a lot of rumours floating about that, Fernando Alonso could be the driver to get that seat at Mercedes, or it's given to a junior like Kimi Antonelli and they throw him straight in there, or Alex Albon maybe getting that chance coming up from the Williams team, going into Mercedes, and then Kimi Antonelli goes into the Williams. I'm also a big fan of Alonso going to Red Bull for 2025. What a lineup that would be. Alonso and Verstappen versus Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. But if that does happen, then there's a seat opening at the Aston Martin team. So would he potentially like to go there? Aston Martin improved massively between 2022 and 2023. And if they carry that on in 2024 and are a strong team once again, then Sainz will be looking at that as a tasty option for 2025 to get himself into a race-winning car once again and be where he wants to be and, of course, win the Drivers' World Championship. Could Aston Martin supply that for him? It is definitely an option to think about. If Fernando Alonso moves on, then they're going to want a top driver, and Carlos Sainz is currently available. One team that is always rumoured with Carlos Sainz, every single time we talk about that, is Audi. Now, Audi aren't coming into the sport until 2026, so it would be one season with the stake team before moving into the Audi outfit. And there's also no guarantee But when Audi come in 2026, they're going to be a strong team. But there's always that lure of a top manufacturer team, a big brand. And could they just do that for Carlos Sainz? I feel like he's been rumoured ever since Audi were officially announced coming to the grid in 2026. Everyone's always said, oh, Sainz is probably going to go there, or Sainz is going to want to go and be the lead there. But it means taking a hit for the time being, going to Stake. Stake could be a decent team in 24 and 25, but where they have been over the previous seasons is near the back end of the midfield. So it would be taking a big hit going from Ferrari, who is a potentially race-winning car, to then go to a midfield team or a lower midfield outfit. But there's that prospect of Audi and that potential of a brand and a manufactured team shooting yourself back up to the top of Formula 1. Alpine could be an option as well. Both Alpine drivers right now will be out of contract at the end of 2024, both Pierre Gasly and Esteban Ocon. So there could be an opening or potential discussions there as well. I'm not so sure about this option because I feel like both Gasly and Ocon are quite solid at Alpine, and I think they are enjoying having that driver pairing as well, unless anything major happens, of course, over the 2024 season. But that is the important thing right now. This has all happened before the 2024 season has even begun, which is kind of a good and a bad thing. As a driver, I'd imagine for Carlos Sainz, he's going to be disappointed, downhearted, driving for Ferrari for this next season and being like, well, what is the point? Because I'm not going to be staying on for 2025. Why do I want to progress this car? But on the other side of that coin, you have got to prove yourself across this season and show your worth, show your stock, show how good you are for the rest of the grid. And it allows you to have a whole season rather than being dropped at the end of the season and everybody's already secured their driver lineup for 2025. He right now is looking at that grid and how many drivers are out of contract in 2024, and I'm sure he is having conversations with all of those teams. For me personally, I'm looking at Stake and I'm looking at that Audi deal in the future. Yes, you've got to take a hit maybe for a couple of seasons, but there is that potential there. There is that lure from Audi, and you're going to be in what is one of the biggest names in motorsport. So it is an exciting prospect, and for me, that's where I think Carlos Sainz is going to go. But let us know in the comment section below. Make sure you subscribe to the WTF1 channel, and we'll see you on the next video.